Dad tip number 13, the birth plan and how to know what your choices are. So when it comes to birth plans, again, a lot of guys are like, what do we need a birth plan for? Like the baby's just gonna, do its own thing, and how am I involved in planning a delivery that I'm not actually doing? Again, great question. Of course, this is a normal place to be as you're thinking like a dad here. So I want to break this down to two different categories. The first category is all your non-delivery considerations. You want to get ahead of these things. Again, you want to better connect with your partner because she's thinking about these and get better prepared for the future. So these non-delivery considerations are things like breastfeeding plans, diaper plans, cloth or disposable. You want to think about your visitor schedule. Who's coming? Who do you not want to be there? How do you want to stack these visitors out so that they show up as helpful villagers and not just baby tourists? You also want to think about like eventual childcare considerations if one or both of you are going to be going back to work, at some point soon after baby's born. So you want to get ahead of all of these things now, and this is all under the umbrella of your birth plan and preferences. The second point, the more important stuff, I guess I should say, is all the actual and delivery options and choices and preferences. And there's a lot in here. Again, you want to get connected with your partner because she's looking at all these things, but you want to be prepared by knowing what these choices are, where you have options, and where your birthing place may have some more tighter restrictions. So you want to consult with your birth team on this. Is it your doula, your OB, your midwife? Who's on your birth team? So you want to sit down together and have them explain some of these things to you because you've probably never thought about the question you're being asked ever. So you want to make sure you're understanding like what it means, but also what the implications are. So we're going to talk all about these different things. What standard procedure at your birth center, your hospital, what do they normally do? Where do you have room to make some choices here, like the lighting in the room, the Bluetooth speaker we talked about previously, the playlist, like how much control do you have over the music, the lighting, the temperature? Can you make the room warmer or colder? These are all these little things. As a guy, here's some great chances for you to get involved. Some of the guys I talk to, they're excited about being the person to maybe help catch the baby. They want to be right down there during the final moments of delivery. Other guys are like, hell no, I do not want to be at the south end. I want to be at the north end, holding my partner's hand, rubbing her brow and tell her how awesome she is. I'm not really good with all that stuff. So these are things you want to think about. A lot of guys like to be involved in the cord cutting. That's another place you may be like, oh, can I be the one to do that? You want to let them know ahead of time. So they look to you like, hey, Dad, are you ready? Time to cut the cord. Cord blood banking is another thing you can think about. This is the thing you want to get ahead of by figuring out ahead of time. Definitely recommend you think about that. It's got a lot of cool stuff happening with like science and technology there. Do you want to save placenta? Some people do placenta encapsulation. So these, again, all these things you want to know about. And right now you're probably like, I have no idea what you just talked about with placentas and cord blood. That's correct. That's why I'm talking about it now. You want to get ahead of the conversation, do your own research, have that chat with your partner. Where is she? What does she want to do? So you guys can arrive at these decisions together. The point is to identify all the things that you can control and identify the things that you can't. So the things you can't control, you just want to kind of push off to the side and really lean into those things you can control. We've talked about the birth story before. This birth story is a place where you really want to show up and shine and really lead with your best self. And that really does come down to how you're connecting with your partner and how you're being prepared for these choices and decisions you have here. So a final point on this whole birth plan is I strongly recommend you and your partner deciding on who is your VIP, who's your main point of contact person. What you don't want to do is you get into labor and you start texting people, oh, we're going to the birth center, gonna have a baby soon, and you start sending out all these random texts, and 3 hours later, you look at your phone and you got 27 texts. Oh, what's going on? Is baby here? What's happening? And now you're over there on your phone and you're trying to be like communicative and stay connected. You think you're helping your partner out by like letting the family know where you're on the process. But every time your partner looks up, she sees you over there on her phone, and that she's not feeling connected if you're on the phone looking down typing and she's over there laboring. So you want to identify a one point person, give them like your 10 or 12 or 15 VIPs, and tell your point person, hey, we're off to labor now. The point person then can be the sort of your like in between. They can call or text your family and friends, hey, David and Jen have assigned me as their point person. I'm the one who's going to be telling you what's going on with updates. Do not blow up their phones. They're trying to have a baby. Leave them alone. I'll contact them. They'll contact me. You'll hear from me. If you have questions, ask me. And next time I talk to one of them, I'll be sure to get your questions out. But you want to put them as that bulwark to kind of block all the people that, obviously your friends and family care about you. They want to know what's going on. But you don't want to be banging away on your phone, answering all these text messages, and you're having your phone ding away while you're trying to focus on mama. So that point person is the last little part of this, your birth plan, getting them figured out, letting them know that's their job, giving them the list of who you want to contact, the basic rules of engagement around that. And now you're set up. You're ready to go. You're connecting with your partner, and you're prepared for what comes next.